We are Metal Nation Radio, playing the best classic metal, thrash metal, death metal, and so much more. Tune in to metalnationradio.com because united we rock.
Just around the corner, just across the top of the clock, the metal woman herself, Brittney Slays, will be calling in to the Metal Nation to discuss her band Unleash the Archers and the Whack and Metal Battle Canada that they're involved in Vancouver. So I guess it's the Whack and Metal Battle of Vancouver. Anyway, hold on tight. We have that coming up for you. We're going to go to the West Coast right now and some more Canadian metal because that's what I like to give you folks when you're listening into my show, because we are broadcasting from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The Underground Lounge is my home. I'm CC Getty, your host. This is 3 Inches of Blood, and we're going to send this one out to Brittney. This is the Metal Woman on Metal Nation Radio. United we rock!
No watered-down pop rock here. Only the best metal round the clock from the artist you want to hear. Metal Nation Radio. United we rock.
Hey, this is Brittney Slays from Unleash the Archers, and you're listening to CC Getty's Metalheads United. Crank it up!
Metal Nation, on the line, we have right now Brittney Slays from the Vancouver band Unleash the Archers, who are performing in the Blackened Metal Battle Vancouver on the 30th of March. How's it going, Brittney?
It's awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Looks like you had a pretty good time at the very first Blackened Metal Battle, according to your Facebook page.
I did. I had a really good time. It was awesome.
Competition looks pretty fierce out there.
Yes, absolutely. So I went. So, gotta check them out. I mean, all the bands that are in are really good, all the way across the country. It's awesome to see, but also very intimidating.
Heard a lot of the music from all the bands across the country, and the day I was just sitting down going through all the music, just totally caught me by surprise. You guys' music really kicks ass.
Thanks, man. I'm glad. I hope it does the same on the 30th.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, for those that have not heard Unleash the Archers, why don't you tell us about your band?
I don't know. We've been sort of classified as lots of different genres, but I'd say we're probably leaning more towards a power metal sound these days.
Yeah.
And we originated in Victoria about 5 years ago. We all moved over to Vancouver together and sort of been trying to pursue the dream in the big city over here. And we've toured Canada a bunch of times, and last year we toured North America. And yeah, I don't know, we're sort of trying to get our name out there the old-fashioned way, you know, sitting in the van for hours on end.
And that's tough to do when you're touring across Canada.
Oh my God, like 18 hours between towns is a little tough to take, but it's worth it when you get there.
Right on. I mean, it's certainly not like the States where it's like every 2 hours you hit a center, you know?
Absolutely not. I am constantly talking with friends and fans down there, and you, like, no idea how good they have it. No idea.
One thing that intrigues me, your name. Where does the name Unleash the Archers come from?
Actually, it was really funny because it was like the last thing that we thought of after we started jamming together, and it was a really hard decision. We were all sort of thinking that we would call it something different, and you know, like Scott wanted like some obscure literary reference, and I wanted it to be some like awesome historical imagery, and some boys just wanted cool words. I mean, it was really hard to say, and we were throwing names around for a long time before someone finally said Unleash the Archers, and we were all kind of like, hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we don't hate it, so let's go for it. And I really like it. I love, like, I'm a big fan of medieval stuff, so, yeah. I mean, I thought it was fantastic.
Well, you know, it's a great name, and when you hear the music that you guys put out, I find it really suits the music. You're just waiting for something to attack you guys, to attack when you listen to you guys.
Yeah, no, I think it really captures, I think, our energy that we try to portray, and it's not exactly that we sing about, you know, battles all the time or whatever, but yeah. I'm a history major, and I really love history, and I think that it brings a good imagery to mind, and I'm really inspired by fantasy, so I don't know. I hope it works.
You know, now you spoke to earlier how people referring to you to a certain genre of music, but when I listen to your music, I mean, I find, you know, a blend of quite a few different genres from metal, like power metal, a bit of death metal in the vocals. There's sort of some thrash and core and traditional in there, which to me really makes your music appealing to a wide variety of metal fans. Was this intentional, or was this just kind of how your sound evolved naturally?
Well, it's actually, we didn't really mean for it to turn out that way. We all love metal of different genres when we came together all those years ago, and like Scott really loved his core drumming, and I love power metal vocals, and Braden was a really big fan of pop, but also like a lot of really traditional death metal bands. So it really just sort of happened that way, and then we kind of embraced it, and we realized that by having trying our best to blend genres like that was really actually allowing us to have a broader fan base. So yeah. We just sort of took it and went with it. We're sort of streamlining our sound quite a bit more now. We still like to, you know, the new album is still going to have a lot of that heavy stuff going on that we like to do, and playing around with time signatures and whatever we can do, right? So I think we'll always be that kind of band. Cool.
So, speaking to all the different styles that you're involved in and are influenced by, what are some of the band's influences?
Personally, I'm a really big, like, Lost Horizon and Iron Maiden.
Right on.
Manowar, and I like Iced Earth. And we've all had our days where we just love listening to All Shall Perish, or, you know, like, I used to be really big into, I'm just getting into soil work right now, and so, like, there were times when we had Lady Gaga on rotation, so it's really, we're all sort of listening to different things and sharing with each other our favorite bands, and then sort of growing from there. So I'd say right now we're really focusing on like an Angra sort of feeling. I don't know.
Right on.
Being inspired by Angra, they're really fun band to listen to.
So let me ask you, you know, being a female-fronted band, I mean, even in 2014, do you find that you have to go the extra mile to prove yourselves?
Oh, God, yes. Absolutely.
So do you find that, like, bands from, like, Huntress or In This Moment haven't really made it easier for you, or how does that all work?
Well, I think there's sort of the world as a whole is starting to maybe understand not to judge when you see, a girl standing in the front of the promo photos, or you see, that female-fronted genre tag on it something. We're slowly learning that it's not all Nightwish kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that it'll get easier with time, but still, lots of hurdles, and a lot of times we have people that comment, female fronted man, no thanks, not even going to give it a try. And so,
well, too bad for them, Brittney, because you guys, you're just something different. Your voice alone. And my 11-year-old daughter, when we're listening to music, she's like, "That's a girl singing."
That's awesome. I love that.
So do you find yourself being an influence for some up and coming female vocalists as well, or?
A lot of times at shows, girls will come and talk to me and say, I'm a singer too, and I never thought to do this kind of thing. I've always loved metal, but I thought the exact same thing before. I saw, I was dating Scott for a long time before we started the band together, and I saw him in his old band, and I was like, why can't I do that? Let's figure something out, and eventually we did. And so I love it when the girls are coming up to me at the shows and being like, oh man, I'm just starting out with a new band, or whatever, or if I get a message on Facebook that's like, can you give me some tips? Like, I'm so down with that. I want to help these girls grow their voice and to, become better performers and better vocalists, and I just love seeing that, and knowing that I was an influence for them is like really touching for me. So
that's pretty cool. And like I said, with the new bands that are out today, I find that female-fronted metal is really changing. It wasn't something that I was really into because, like you say, of the Nightwish sound and all that, and I thought that a lot of the women singing sounded the same, but you just sound so different.
Oh, thank you. I do. It's kind of funny because a lot of the times I just wish that I was, as a male vocalist, because their voices are just so stunning all the time. And you listen to someone like Bruce or Daniel Hyman, and you're just like, oh my God, the things that they can do are so extraordinary, and I feel so limited by my sex often. But I'm learning to just sort of say, who cares, and break those barriers and try harder myself and work on it myself. That's really the only thing that you can do. I love Nightwish. I have a lot of respect for them and what they've done for the scene for women in metal, but that's not what I strive to be at all, and I really am trying for something different. So I'm glad that it's coming through at least.
Blackened Metal Battle Canada. I mean, this is pretty intense. How did you guys find out about this contest?
Actually, we're really good friends with the boys in Crimson Shadows, who were the winners from last year, not just the Canadian battle, but the international battle at Blackened.
They won the whole thing.
They sure did. And, oh man, when I found out that they were doing this competition, which was actually only in the East before, it was only between Ontario and Quebec bands.
Yeah.
When I found out they were doing it, I was just like, oh my god, yeah, like there is no other band that deserves this more than they do. And I was rooting for them the whole time, even though I couldn't be there. And then when they went to Vaughan and sort of took the whole thing, I was just like, wow, this is unbelievable. And I'm speaking with some of the local promoters, and they're like, yeah, well, there's talks actually that they're going to do it Canada-wide next year. So the second, I always had my ear to the ground waiting to hear when it was going to be coming up. So I was there as soon as Asher Media was the one to announce it on Facebook. So
well, right on. I'm glad you guys are in. But Noctis Festival here in Calgary, John, Asher, and JJ came out, and we're sitting in the bar one night with a couple of people, and they were telling me about the Blackened Metal Battle. And I said, well, like, what is it? He goes, well, it's East versus West. I'm like, East versus West? Well, Quebec versus Ontario. I'm like, wait a minute. You're missing a whole part of the country, and there's so much great metal out in Western Canada. So
I know, and that's one of the things, though, that I'm so excited about it this year, is that I just want a band from the West to go and to show the world, because pretty much the world goes to Vaughan, what kind of metal we have here, because I don't know what they think, like we're all just a bunch of stoner hippies hanging out at the beach, but there's some incredible talent over here, and we're just ignored by not only mainstream media, but metalheads as well. It's sort of frustrating.
Well, it's really great. I mean, the music's getting out there, all the exposure that, Metal Nation Radio and a couple other places are doing, it's really helping right now, and I certainly think the battle is going to encourage that too.
Definitely. I think so, yeah.
Now, speaking of your battle and the talent that's out there, you guys are going up against Neck of the Woods. They're like a progressive technical metal band. Speaking of stoner metal, you're going up against 88 Mile Trip and I think Zool, blackened death metal. That's, like I said, March 30th at the Venue nightclub in Vancouver. What do you think is going to set you guys apart from the competition that night?
I don't know. They're all really good. Very talented musicianship, especially Zool. I mean, like, those boys have been kicking it for a long time. But I think that we've toured a lot, and we know how to get up on stage, kick ass, and then get off. So we're really organized, and I sometimes call us a well-oiled machine, because we get into this crazy rhythm where it's sleep, wake up, drive, play a show, sleep, wake up, drive, play a show, and I think that we slip back into that mind frame really easily, and I know that we'll be able to do that on the 30th, and just sort of, this stage is like where our second home is. We just love it up there, and we work really well together. Even though we have had a bit of a lineup change recently, which sort of put a wrench into things, but I love the boys that we're jamming with, and I think we're going to, like, our camaraderie will really show, I think. I'm not sure what the other bands, if they have spent as much time in a band together as we have, but it really shows on stage when you love each other as much as we do.
Well, it's cool to hear. Is there anything special that you guys are doing to prepare for the battle?
Besides being the studio for, like, the entire month before the show.
Yeah, right on.
Other than we're going to really sharpen up a couple new songs so that we have something maybe that people haven't heard before.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And hopefully that'll bring some people out so they can catch a glimpse of the new record, months before it's going to be out. So
cool. Well, and like I said, from what I can tell, the metal community in Vancouver, from everything I see on Facebook, seems really tight. What I wanted to know, are you going up against any of your peers or friends that night? What's that like for you guys?
It's hard. I'm going up against friends the entire time, and I'm rooting for them because I want them to succeed just as much as I yearn for success for us. It is really hard knowing that there can be only one at the end of it all.
Yeah.
But I'll be at every show, and I'll be stoked on whoever makes it there, whether it's us or an Omni site who just won. I don't know. Vancouver is a really tight scene, and I really do love the support that we provide for one another. So as hard as it is, we will focus on the night of, that's for sure. Until that time, I'm just sort of rooting for everybody.
Against the black
Well, you guys are playing the last actual battle before the semifinals go, so like you said, you're going to have a good chance to see everybody and know what's happening before you.
Right, and hopefully maybe just get a good idea of what the judges are looking for and, what we can do to help ourselves to stand out a little bit.
Well, I certainly think being female-fronted, that'll help you out as well, too.
Yeah, I think there's one other female-fronted band. Over the Coals is playing next week, so maybe there was another one. Celestial Ruin, I think,
yes,
is female-fronted.
That's right. Celestial Ruin's playing as well, too.
Don't quote me on that, though.
No, you're right. They're playing, yeah, because I
haven't had too much time to look into all the bands because we're getting ready to hit the studio here, so...
Well, yeah, you're speaking about that, so you are ready just to begin, I think it's your 4th release, right?
Yes, yeah, the 3rd full-length, but the 4th album.
So what can fans expect from your next CD?
Lots of energy and a lot of fun. We're really pushing for fast, fist-pumping, like in-your-face, just really good time, something that anyone can relate to. And I don't know, I really love what we're doing right now. I'm putting my heart and soul into these words and into every vocal line. We really took our time with this record because we didn't want to rush anything. We wanted it all to be perfect. So I think it's going to be really good. I hope, it's our fire up the blades, but I don't know.
Well, right before I gave you a phone call, I was tooling around YouTube, and the first time I listened to that new track that you guys have posted, Dream Crusher, which, by the way, killer track. I hope you're playing that on your battle. So if that's any indication, I think you guys are certainly going down the right track, that's for sure.
Thanks, yeah. It's 10 minutes is maybe a little bit too long for a 25-minute Balkan battle set, so I don't know if we'll be able to pull that one out. I would love to, but I think we're going to bring out some oldies and a brand new one that no one's heard yet, which is rockin', so...
Right on, I'm glad to hear it.
I think it'll be good.
Okay, now I always love to ask up-and-coming bands and artists these next few questions. Aside from your own band, who is your favorite band from your scene that you'd like to take out on the road and expose to your fans?
Favorite band from the scene? I like Dead Asylum. I really like them. Over the Coals is good. Nihilithia, of course, but they don't need us. They're amazing. There's a band called Eterna that's really doing really well. I love their vocalist. He's super talented. Iron Kingdom. Those boys are kick-ass. A lot.
You've given us a few bands that we're going to have to zoom around Facebook and Bandcamp and discover now.
Yes, absolutely. Do it.
So, on the opposite side, if you guys could hit the road opening for anyone in the world right now, who would you want to tour with?
Probably, I would say right now, at this very moment, Iced Earth. I would love to tour with them.
They're on the road right now, too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, damn it. I love Stu. I think he's so freaking talented, and I'm so proud of him for landing that Iced Earth gig, because he deserves it.
Saskatchewan boy makes big, right?
Exactly. To work so hard and into eternity, and then to have this opportunity, I think that's so great.
What's new and exciting that you're listening to right now?
Soilworks, The Living Infinite. I listen to that a lot. I really love that record because I can listen to it from beginning to end. Yeah. The first disc one.
Just
beginning to end without stopping, and that's really to me the sign of an awesome album.
Yeah.
Because every song is powerful. Every song, I don't want to push the skip button. So.
You said at the beginning of your interview that you kind of just gotten into those guys, and myself too. I really got into them last year when they were on the road with Hatchet and Jeff Loomis and all those bands, and they blew me away when I saw them live.
Yeah, I told them that was the first time. I was like, okay. And then actually a friend of mine popped out of the crowd because I was working the merch booth, and he was like, oh my God, have you listened to these guys? Aren't you the hugest fan ever? And I was like, actually, this is my first time hearing them.
Yeah.
And I pointed to all the CDs on the table, and I was like, you, being a fan, which CD should I get? And he's like, this one for sure. So I got Living Infinite, and I've loved it ever since.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'm not the only well-versed metalhead that just discovered those guys not too long ago.
There's a million bands out there like that, though.
I know.
You really just have to actually Scott's in a huge sort of blackened folk metal. I don't know what you'd even call it. There's a really big scene out of Salt Lake City right now, and there's a couple amazing bands. One of them's called Arid Withran, and then Kaladin Brood, and we've been listening to those guys a lot too. And they're just indie black metal bands out of the U.S., and they're freaking awesome.
Wow, and out of Salt Lake City, no less. Not the place you'd think to be the hotbed of black metal.
I know. Well, I mean, you're living under the church's thumb. You gotta express yourself somehow, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe that's exactly why it's so happening there, I guess.
And I just actually did some guest vocals on the new record for this band called Dysphoria out of Denver, and they're freaking amazing. He first approached me and was like, will you do some vocals on this track or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure, send me the track. And I listened to it, and the chorus was just like, okay, it's stuck. I got to do this song. Like, it was just so good. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there. You just have to look around. Like, do the YouTube thing where
Yeah.
you just click on the next suggested band. You know, I know people that do that until like 5 in the morning because it's just so good. All the related videos.
You're talking to one of them right now, so.
Exactly, right? I know we've had so many people that come onto our page and they're like, you were one of my suggested YouTube videos and I'm so glad I found you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you did too.
Now, before we let you go, Brittney, where is the best place that our listeners and your new fans can go to buy your music and stay current with what's going on with the band?
We post on Facebook on the regular. Our music is on Bandcamp digitally, and we actually make a pretty good percentage of the Bandcamp sales.
Right on.
So I would say if you're going to go digital, do that.
Not iTunes, buy it off Bandcamp, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
iTunes is like...
They're Nazis.
They're good though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We get a little bit from them every few months or so for our stuff, and I'm down with that. I mean, if iTunes is what you know, then go for it. But definitely Bandcamp is really out there for the artist, I think. But we also have our own little homepage, unleashedthearchers.com, and you can get our stuff in physical from there. And that like comes directly from my hands into a little manila envelope
Oh, excellent.
for hands. So
Excellent. You got your DNA all over the CD then.
yeah, totally. I'm always like, yeah, kisses and stickers and whatever.
Well, right on, Brittney. Hey, thanks for taking the time to chat with the Metal Nation today. Good luck in your battle on the 30th as well. Like I said, you got a tough night ahead of you there, but I think you guys had the leading edge as well. So
Thanks, Cam. I really appreciate that.
we'll appreciate it. And let's toss it to one of your best songs. This is Daughters of Winter Stone on Metal Nation Radio. United, we rock.
Love is just
is Brittney Slays from Unleash the Archers, and you're listening to Metal Nation Radio. United we rock.
Hey there, this is CC Getty. I just want to thank you for tuning in to my weekly podcast featuring highlights from my Metalheads United show on metalnationradio.com. Be sure to tune in Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and that's 10 p.m. in the UK for the best interviews, Mandatory Maiden, the Big Four foreplay, and music that will kick your ass. And don't forget, you can also listen to my broadcasts Monday and Friday on metalnationradio.com, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Until next time, Metalheads, united we rock.